Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a video on how I conceal, correct, and set my under eye area so that I avoid creasing. So stay tuned if you want to see how I go from this to this. So I've started off with primer and foundation, and then I skipped ahead and I have completed my brows and eye makeup. Typically after foundation, what I like to do next is apply my concealer. I like to apply some underneath my eyes, down my nose, my forehead and chin to brighten those areas up. And the concealer that I would say is my holy grail, like faithful one, I know it's going to work, is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Vanilla. I like this one because the shade is really brightening and the coverage is medium to full, and I just feel like the consistency is great for my skin. It's not too thick, it's not too thin, it's not too watery, so that's why I love it so much. It is on the more pricey side. Of course, it's a high-end product. A couple of other options for my favorite concealers that I know don't crease on me are the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. I have the shade NW20, and I also really love the Maybelline Master Conceal. This one is in light, but I believe that you can get it in fair as well. These concealers I love. Also the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, really love that one. There are just a couple of other ones if you're wanting some other options, high-end and drugstore. But today I'm going in with this one, which is on its last legs. So what I like to do is take it underneath the eye area first. And I just like to make a triangle shape there. What I like to do is kind of fan it out over my cheeks. This does help with covering my redness as well. And take some down my nose, just a bit on my forehead up there, and just kind of like fan it out there. Some on my chin, and then some on my cupid's bow usually as well. I know when I first started applying makeup, I was just like, wow, that's too much concealer. But when you use the right tool to blend it out, it works out perfectly. The tool I'm talking about is the Beauty Blender. I've been using this for about 2.5 years now, and I love it. It works so quickly, and all I do is, of course, dampen it. I usually wash it and then dampen it, and you just squeeze the water in it. Then you just squeeze it in a towel, but have it so that it's still damp. What I like to do is just bounce it over those areas, and it just blends in so quickly. Now you don't want to leave the concealer sitting in one place for too long because it can tend to set depending on what type of concealer you're using. So I like to just get right in all those nooks and crannies there, and the Beauty Blender is perfect for that because of the small tip at the end. And then just blend it in with the foundation. Just make sure you get right up in this area here, just to cover the darkness there. Now usually I do have foundation on the end of this sponge, and then I would just blend them in together. But today I used a brush, so I'm just going to lightly dab that on there and make sure everything's blended in. Now you'll be able to see that that has covered up a bit of my redness on my cheeks, as well as covering the dark circles underneath my eyes, and it has given the area just a really nice bright refreshed look. So you can see that it's more brighter than the foundation shade that I'm wearing. Now to really get in and counteract those dark circles, this of course is optional, but I like to do it. So we use a corrector just to counteract with the dark circles underneath my eyes. You can see that the concealer's done a really good job, but I can still see that there's a bit of darkness just right under here where the blueness is just showing through. So I like to use a salmon colored corrector to counteract that darkness and further brighten the area up. So my favorite corrector is the Bobbi Brown corrector in Light Bisque. So it just looks like this. I just like to take it on my ring finger, just like that, and then just dab it right in that corner and right on that under eye area. I'm not sure if you can see, but I can definitely see the difference between the corrected side to the non-corrected side. If you want, you can go over with your Beauty Blender just really, really lightly, just to make sure it's all blended, and if there's any excess product, this removes it as well. So I'll go ahead and apply it on this side. Okay, so now that we are all concealed and corrected, now we need to set that concealer so it does not crease. My favorite technique is the baking technique, which is basically picking up a loose translucent powder and sitting it on the areas where you have concealed and just leaving it for a couple of minutes. I don't like to leave it for too long. The longer you leave it, the brighter the area gets in most circumstances. But what it does is it soaks up that concealer and really sets those areas so well. Favorite powder that I like to use for baking is the Celebrate Loose Mineral Finishing Powder. I have the color light medium. What I like about this product is it has no flashback and it's really great quality. It's really finely milled, nice and soft, and it's perfect for the under eye area. What I like to do is just pick up my beauty blender and pick up some product. Now you are going to get a bit of fallout there, and then just place it underneath the eyes. So just dab it on that area. As soon as you do dab it on, you can definitely feel it soaking it up. I just like to fade it out so there's not a crisp line as well. So this is the part where you look really crazy, and I usually do my eye makeup and brows in between this and let it sit. Some people do like to take it down here, just underneath their cheekbone, to create a really strong contour line. So I'm just gonna sit here for a while and let this bake. Okay, so now that it's been on for about 3 to 4 minutes, I will brush it off. On a day-to-day basis, I usually do just take a brush and flick it off. This is the Models Prefer Highlight and Contour Brush. As you can see, it fits in this area perfectly. It's really nice and soft, so I just use this from day to day. For those special occasions, what I like to do is take a lighter powder. So these ones from the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, these two, so the banana powder and the light powder, I just mix them together, or I just take another powder that has a bit of coverage in it, take them on my brush, so I have some product there, and then I like to dust away that powder. Just going to quickly set the rest of my face. Just blend those powders in together, make them look seamless. And then I'm just going to finish off the rest of my face and show you the finished product. And here is the finished result. I'll show you it close up. So you'll notice that I do have some fine lines underneath my eyes. I am approaching my 30th birthday in a year and a little bit. So of course those lines are coming with age, but I do feel like this technique works best for me. Sometimes depending on which concealer or foundation you use, it can look a little bit cakey than others, but what I can suggest is keep trying different products with each other and find out what works best for you. I do really love the Beauty Blender, or just try any beauty sponge. This one in particular is my favorite. I feel like as the day goes on, maybe like an hour or two after you have applied your makeup, it really looks the best. It just needs that bit of time to seep into your skin. It can definitely help by using a setting spray like MAC Fix Plus. I feel like the setting sprays really help the makeup seep into your skin a little bit better and not have that powdery finish. So that is how I conceal, correct, and I avoid creases underneath my eye area. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you found it really helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!